Yo, what's up guys? Here's my real 2025 video because I thought of something that I think is a really good point and I've not heard anybody else make it. So let me get into that. What's this one called? This one is called I challenge you to not do any contests this year. No contests, no lists, no on Twitter, none of that. You're like, bro, I'm clicking straight the fuck out of this video. What the hell is he talking about, right? But think about this. I'm gonna make a really good point, I think. Couple. When Sherry and I first came into the industry, far as I know, there was no contest for screenwriters, but there were still screenwriters, right? So how the fuck did, oh, you get it? You know? But here's the thing too. Are you exactly, like, how was your year last year? We're going into 2025. Let me ask you this. Did you kill it last year? Are you signed? You got signed, you sold some shit? And you're like, yeah, I'm great, I'm straight, I'm good. Yeah, I made a bunch of checks and shit like this. I got people attached to my shit, it's getting made, all this kind of stuff. You're squared away. Is that you? Then this video is not for you, okay? If that's not you, and you're like, bro, I'm a struggling writer trying to make it, then this video might be for you. So my point is this. I have a few points. One of my points is when you look at contests, I've never heard anybody put it this way. When you look at screenwriting contests, for every single other aspect of a creative in the industry, there's no contest for it. Has that occurred to you? There's no contest for that. There's no contest, not like directors. You could say, well, Project Greenlight, that was a thing. No, I'm talking about like universally like accepted as like, that's the way to, there's no contest for anybody else. No one. Not for actors, directors, what else? Film composers, there's no fucking contest. Musicians, what else? No one. Anything else creative? Even like traditional art, there's no contest for that. Only screenwriters, man. And they've normalized that to where screenwriters feel like that's normal. Like that's how you break in, right? Like I write a script and then I break in through a contest. That's not normal, dude. It isn't. Let me go here. Sherry never signed a single person from a contest in 20 plus years. No one. Hundreds of clients. No one. I personally do not know an agent who, who has represented clients with big hits and this kind of shit, who's signed anyone from a contest. I don't personally know any agents like that. You know what I mean? So what if that's your problem? You know what I mean? What if your problem is you're trying to break into these contests, you're trying to get on these lists, I'm trying to get on the list for this, I'm trying to break into these contests, I'm trying to do this, that, the other thing. What if that's your problem? Meaning this, what if you're using that as a safety net and that allows you to feel like, at least I have that option. And what if that's keeping you from really trying to make it? Because imagine we strip that away from you. You got none of that. No fellowships, no contests, no nothing. You got to go into the industry and make it. Would you even know the first thing to do? Would you? Like, what would you try first? Like for a composer, let's say, film composer, there's no contest. Like, you want to score a film? What are you gonna like? You have to go talk to people. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that's an important point, that I think too many writers have made that their comfort zone. Well, if I land on a contest, then I have my laurel and I can say, like, you know, well, I have this laurel. I quarterfinaled, plus I got like an 8 or something. Like, there's no other fucking thing in the industry where they give a fuck about, like, oh, you got a number for some shit? Like, you know, I'm an actor. I got an 8 on something. Like, no one cares. There's no thing like that. I'm an agent. There's no contest to become an agent. Like, it's like you got to get in the game and just go and try shit. Director, same shit. Like, no one else. I know I'm stamping this, I'm beating this dead horse into glue, but I'm just saying, think about that. That could be the reason why shit's not happening for you. Because that's not how most writers get signed. I know of one person who's won a contest. One. And they won the nickel. Are they a huge writer today? No. Are they super rich, all this kind of stuff? No. Every single writer I know that does big shit didn't break in that way. And you ask them the story. They're like, I'm from Kansas, I flew out and fucking made a go of it, and then I met this person and that, and I fucking hustled, man. Most writers you talk to who've done shit, in the industry, that their stories something like that. I came out, I was a PA, people called me a piece of shit for like 2 years, and then I wrote the script and then so-and-so liked it. You know what I mean? Like, I think the contest shit has just gotten out of control as far as like, if you really want to make it in the industry, I would recommend maybe this year try to challenge yourself. Like, I'm gonna go 1 year with no contests, no fellowships, no nothing, man. Not try to make it on Twitter and kiss up to like some of the showrunners and shit. None of that. Then a lot of people would say, then what the fuck would I do, man? Go meet people. Go out into the world and meet people, I was thinking about that, like how similar it is to dating like high value people. You want to be a writer, you're asking to do something. I want to make it in Hollywood as a writer. There's a microscopic percentage of people who ever do that. It's very similar to dating in that you want to date that like ultra top level, like women or men or whatever. You gotta come to the table with something that almost no one else is coming with, and really be fucking like a go-getter. I don't think it's that different than trying to make it as a screenwriter. So yeah, so I think I covered that. And think about that, like bands. Think of the bands that you love. picture whatever band you can think of. Did they come? Did they make it in some contest? No. Then you might. But what about American Idol or The Voice? Like most of those people don't break wide. Most of them. The biggest bands in the world come from uh, just you know Taylor Swift, right? Like you know probably just walked into one of those bars and said like can I play here, and they're like, let's hear you play, and like okay, like audition, just off the fucking street, you know and just build up that way, versus win some competition and then like here, let me make it easier for you. And I was talking to one of my homeboys about that too, like with as far as musicians go, it kind of feels like that too, where he was saying he's done big shit in the music industry, but he's like, it feels like a lot of the musicians now, which is very similar to the screenwriters, like they want to go on a big show and then just be a star overnight. And it's like they have no clue, like they've not paid their dues. They just immediately in front of like millions of people with not much experience, and it feels like that with writers to me who want to win a contest and then boom, then I'm just famous all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like, every band you can think of, I guarantee you're probably not going to barely be able to think of any band that you love that came from some kind of like show like that or something. Go ahead. Who? Nirvana? Get out of here. Who? K-Dot? No. Drake? No. Nipsey Hussle? Who? Dre? Like, no. None of them. Who? The Beatles? No. Rolling Stones? No. No one. Elvis? No. No one. Anyway, so I'm just saying, like if you pull that out from under yourself, that and I saw the safety net. Maybe that's the thing that's holding you back. Pull that safety net out pull the rug out from under yourself, free fall, and now you got to make it. Now you can't. Now you're not relying on these contests. You got to be the one to get out there on the street and start talking to people and meeting people. Like when you start a band, think of it like that. You start a band, like there's no contest. Like, dude, I want to be in a band. Then go do it. Like, but where do I go though to sign up for for some contest to be in a band? Like you just go out into the world and meet some dude, and like that's how all my bands started. I just met people and like, oh, you play guitar? Cool, I sing. You want to fuck around? They're like, yeah, let's mess around. I'm like, do you know any drummers? They're like, I think I do. I'm like, I know a dude who probably could play bass for us. So boom, there you have a band. Now what do? Now you're like, let's go get a rehearsal space. And what do we do now? Like, are we going to be signed by a big record company? No. Like, now let's write some songs and put them out there. Like, write them and then just put them out there and see what the fuck people say, and then people become interested, and then and then you can play places. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of like a lost sort of. I feel like that's lost on the younger generation and shit who want to break in as a writer. Like that didn't exist. Like when Sherry and I came in the industry, and people that are older than me, try that shit. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, someone said I'm almost done. Let me wrap this up because I don't want to go too long. I saw on Twitter that someone said like how do I know, like, because I'm getting two different like This person says my script is good. This one says it's bad. Like, how do I know? And it's like, and several people said in that, essentially, you gotta know. Like, and I said in that, I said, you know, I was having a conversation with Terry Rossio, and early on when I got signed, early, and I was complaining about some shit, and he's like, yeah, you're the writer, bro. Like, I'm paraphrasing. Like, you gotta know when the script is ready, not them. Like, they're the ones that are like developing it and so forth, but you're the one who has to know, like, this scene works, this script works. Like, ultimately, you're the one. That's what you signed up for. You know. Otherwise, do something else. So, like, and that really like clicked with me when he said that. Like, I was like, oh yeah. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, I gotta know when the script is good. I gotta be the one to be like, okay, like, oh yeah, like, I wrote it, so I need to be the one to say, like, now I think it's good. And I gotta be honest with myself about that. And I gotta be the hardest one on it. Harder than everybody else. You know? I gotta be the one who's the most honest with myself about, do I think it's ready? And in those moments be like, no, like, it isn't. It's not. What else? I'm almost done. I was gonna say one last thing. Oh, I said to Luke today. I said, in my opinion, I think you win the biggest award of 2024 for low key. For a very good low key lesson on how to do the industry, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Because it's like a lot of writers have that dream. Like, let me write the thing that wins the nickel, right? That's a dream. Let me win the nickel, then I get signed by CAA, by the biggest agent in the world. Then they take me and let me write Star Wars, and that's probably not gonna happen. But when you look at what Luke has done this year off of $4,000, like, that is such a fantastic lesson to the entire, like, writing community. I think for me, that's the biggest lesson I've seen in 2024 is, like, write something you give a fuck about, that's personal to you, that you believe in, and just go make it. And then people are interested, which is not unlike music. You see what I'm saying? Same shit. Like, no one cares if you can't write sheet music and get signed. No one will give a fuck. You gotta actually write the music and perform it, which is not unlike just going and making a movie. There's a song, you can hear it, you can feel it. Like, there's the movie, I can see it, I can feel it. Like, it's pretty similar. Screenplays, to me, it's kind of like writing sheet music. No one really gives a fuck. So, and how many views did he get off that? Like, several million. I don't even know what he's up to now. What is he up to? 3-4 million? I don't have any idea. But that just goes to show you, man, when you do something, then people care. Didn't he get signed off that? Yeah, I think so. And then people want to meet him and stuff off of that, and stuff's moving for him off of that, because he did something versus just sit and write a screenplay. You know what I mean? I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I meant for this video to be 10 minutes. I always go twice as long. Anyway, so there was one last thing I was going to say. I guess I'm done there. Just, you know, maybe try that. Maybe try like, fuck, I feel like I feel like I'm forgetting something that's kind of like a good last point to put in this, but whatever, I'll end it. I'm just saying, like, maybe try that. Maybe try like doing something. That's what else I was gonna say. No one is asking any of us to do art. You know what I mean? And that's one of the other things that bugs me about these contests is they're like, send your stuff in, like acting as if like people want your art. And the reality is nobody wants your art. No one cares about art, dude. Like, as an artist, you're trying to sell people shit that they don't actually need. Do they need this painting? No. For what? It could just as easily be just a blank wall. You know what I mean? Do they need to hear my music? Do they need it? Not really, you know? No. Do they need my movie, you know? My screenplay? No. You know what I mean? Like that, I think that's one thing to realize as an artist. You're trying to sell shit that no one asked you to do. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I mean? Picasso, like, he had to go make that shit, and then people are like, you know what? Can you do more of that, actually? Since I see what it is now that you've made it? You see what I'm saying? Like, contests? Get out of here. Did Picasso win a contest? Think of all your favorite, think of every single artist in the world who you are like, they're the biggest artists, they're the most successful artists in the world. How many of them have won contests? None of them, dude. You see what I'm saying? Like, contests are not a normal thing in the art world. It's not. It just became some thing, and now it's just like, just overblown as a money-making tool. You know? So anyway, that's my thought. Just a recommendation. Maybe put contests down for a year and all of that shit. And maybe you turn around next year and you're like, I got signed, dude. Because I'm out there hustling in ways that now it's making me think of new ways to do this. New ways to break in, new ways to meet people, new ways to advance, all of that. Because I forced myself to go cold turkey off of this bullshit, these contests. You know what I mean? So anyway, good luck, guys. I hope you guys fucking kill it this year, and all of that. So peace. All the love. Good luck.